being here. Request to please.
Thank you, Saurabh. Home Minister of India and the President of the world's largest political party, Honorable Shri Amit Shah ji, the Finance and Corporate Affairs Minister of India, Honorable Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman ji, Vineet, my brother Devendra Fadnavis, all the captains of industry, business, trade, and my dear Mumbaikars. As usual, it's great to be back home. Thank you very much, ET, for giving me this sixth opportunity to share the stage on the ET Awards. In fact, when I look back, there was a time we used to wait कि इस साल ET Awards का invite पहुंचेगा कि नहीं. अब इतना जरूर है कि invite भी पहुंचता है, थोड़ा persuasion भी होता है, जरूर आना. और थोड़ा last minute तक, I think Bodhi certainly misses a couple of heartbeats, whether we'll make it or we won't make it. But truly always a privilege to be amongst friends back home in Mumbai. I'm glad Saurabh didn't ask me to speak from there, because otherwise it would have looked like I'm also using the teleprompter. I don't think we need to do that when we are discussing plain, simple facts of life. We are in challenging times. The world is seeing a turmoil all over. And within that turmoil, within the uncertainties that different trade wars have leashed, the geopolitical uncertainties that we see around us, I still see India as that oasis which can lead world growth, which can actually lift the sentiment of industry, sentiment of trade across continents. What I certainly think we need to first address is our own self-confidence. I mean, Warren Buffett had once said, let's not talk ourselves into a recession. And sometimes I feel many of us are tending to ourselves lose that self-confidence, that mojo, which at least all of us in Mumbai always had. And right from the times when the buzzword around the country was that Mumbai dares to dream, right up to today, when Mumbai shows the world entrepreneurship at its best, Mumbai shows the world innovation, Mumbai is willing to take challenges. I think it's really an opportunity that we have to grab, that we have to take forward, that Mumbai has to lead. And I hope the ET Awards today, just like Saurabh mentioned, will help us take the mood forward, change the mood. And I'm sure the illustrious speakers after me and the Q&A that we are looking forward to will help us address any of the concerns that trade or business or industry has. It's a matter of happiness for me to see the award winners. I myself was given the Business Reformer Award way back in 2014. I'm delighted that Devendra Fadnavis is going to receive that award today. Truly a person who deserves it for all that he did for the state of Maharashtra, for all that he brought to Mumbai. Really proud of you, Devendra ji, for all the good work you have done. I'm also delighted that my mentor and guide for over 3 decades, Shri Arun Jaitley ji, is going to be conferred the Lifetime Award for his public service, for his contribution to the Indian economy. I think truly a person who was friends to all of us in this room here today, somebody who was accessible, somebody who was always willing to lend his ear to our issues, our problems. I think a huge round of applause for Shri Arun Jaitley ji. We are really missing him here today, but I assure each one of you that we shall continue the good work that he did for the last 5 years as the finance minister of the country, somebody who led from the front in changing the image of the country from a fragile 5 economy to a country which is one of the fastest growing economies in the world. His contributions to build up the macroeconomy, his contributions to bring down all the stress points, the poor state of banks that we had, the improvements in fiscal deficit, the lowering of inflation, bringing in institutional sagacity to economic reform, the GST, the IBC code, and the plethora of new initiatives under the leadership of Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, which have actually helped us create the foundation on which I believe the superstructure of a strong and resilient India, of an India that will show to the rest of the world what true men and women are made of. I think the time has come for us to grab that opportunity now, and I have no doubt in my mind that the captains of industry seated here before me are going to lead from the front. When I read a company crosses a 10 lakh crore market cap, when I read another company, in fact, I recently had an occasion to interact with the chief or the CEO of Unilever, where we engaged about what we could do, how we could work together between government and business to take forward various initiatives, various steps, and strengthen the Indian economy. I believe there's huge opportunities. Thank you, Didi. I believe there's huge opportunities which we have to only tap into. After all, I don't think any FMCG country across the world has a kind of price multiple that Unilever has in the Indian stock market today. He was telling me the market cap is about $62 billion on a turnover of probably $5 or $6 billion. Turnover, mind you, ladies and gentlemen. That's the trust, that's the confidence that markets and the world have in India. I think it's time all of us assembled in this room also picked up a cue or two from the confidence of the world in India, from the messages coming out from across the world. 15 countries trying to persuade Prime Minister Narendra Modi, please join RCEP. Without you, RCEP will be incomplete. Why does that happen? It's the world's largest market. It's the world's biggest opportunity that India offers. It's for us to grab that. It's for us to provide the ecosystem. And that's where you and we have to work together. As Commerce and Industry Minister, I've been engaging with several companies. I've been inviting several groups to come and tell us, what are your investment plans? What do you see going forward? Where can the government play a role and help you achieve your targets of the future? Are you having any stress points, whether in the central government, with the state governments, even with the local bodies? Come, talk to us. Let's have a dialogue. I've had some engagement so far. As I said, I met with Unilever. I met with the Maruti Group about the auto industry. I've been inviting Tatas. I've been inviting other companies. I told Kumar, I told Anand, let's sit down. Come to us with your problems, with your investment plans. What can we as government do, working in partnership with you, to take forward your plans, help you engage with the world on equal terms? Are there any non-tariff barriers that you need to be addressed in other countries? Are there any disadvantages to domestic manufacturing that you need us to address? In fact, only recently in one of our Make in India sessions with industry, one of the steel companies came up with the suggestion of a border adjustment tax. It's a perfectly WTO compliant way to bring parity between low-cost imports coming through the FTA route and domestic manufacturing, to make sure that our industry doesn't get burdened by unfair domestic costs. I think ideas are aplenty, but you need to come and give us those ideas. We are already working on this idea that the steel industry gave us, which I think is a perfect solution to help us grapple with the challenges of FTAs. Similarly, when we do FTAs, when we talk, as Vinitji just asked me, about the trade deal with the US, we ensure that domestic interest, the interests of our people, our industry, is paramount. That is what will define the terms of engagement of India with the rest of the world. No more will India stand with weak knees. No more will India negotiate from the back foot. The country plays on the front foot. Prime Minister Modi is willing to bite the bullet when it comes to taking the crunch. And that's exactly what happened in Bangkok on the 4th of November, when the Indian concerns were not being adequately addressed, when we were not able to ensure that Indian industry will get level playing field, proper market access in the other economies, and for every access that India opens up, whether we get an equal and corresponding opportunity for all of you. Until that was ensured, India refused to be a part of an unfair trade deal. And I can assure you, going forward, every engagement of India with the rest of the world is going to rest on the principles of natural and national interest and the interests of people of India, trade and business in India. Similarly, when it comes to investments, I can assure you the government of the day is extremely focused in ensuring level playing field, in ensuring a good deal for new investors, both domestic and international, yet ensuring that the rules of the game are properly adhered to. We shall not allow, just in the garb of investment or even large investment, anybody to bring in unfair trade practices to India, howsoever powerful the company may be, howsoever big the investor may be. And this is one government, you can call us Swadeshi, we are happy to carry that tag. But this is one government that believes that our self-reliance, our self-sufficiency, and our self-confidence is going to determine the future of India, the future of the people of India. And this government has a laid out roadmap for an investment of 1.5 trillion US dollars, 100 lakh crores in the next 5.5 years, which we believe will help to pull up the economy. But that will not be possible unless we have more and more public-private partnerships, unless we engage with all of you much more. And I'd like to invite each and every one of you assembled here for discussions, for ideation, for taking this roadmap forward. How can we work together? And I'm sure you will take this opportunity. Let's get together, let's work together, be it the railways, be it other ministries in the government, be it commerce, be it industry, which has to promote industry, invite investment, but protect internal trade also. And let's all of us work together in this spirit of confidence. Obviously, governments of the day have to ensure what the future, what the roadmap is, and what is the vision of the government. One vision that I would like to share with you, that Prime Minister Modi is very focused on, and that is that India should be recognized across the world as an honest nation, as a nation where integrity is a given. And we would like that everybody accepts that principle, fundamental change in the mindset of our business, our trade, our commerce. My own sense is the day the world sees India as a totally honest and a country where you can work with rules of the game applicable to all fairly and with no rent seeking, India will be unstoppable. And that is what Prime Minister Modi's vision is. He believes very strongly that let us prepare our country to engage with the world as a country that, while it provides big market opportunities, ensures that we get the better deal out of it. Our US negotiations rest on the fundamental principles of equal access to both, equal benefits to both nations. And I can assure you, I don't believe we have to rush into any decisions. Sometimes haste makes waste. And I do believe that I'd rather look at trade deals, I'd rather look at engagement with the rest of the world with a longer term vision in mind. The prism cannot be kept too small. The prism has to be multifaceted. The prism has to be a long shot view. And the prism has to ultimately bear in mind what the Honorable Prime Minister said at the concluding meeting of heads of government and heads of state at RCEP, that when we balance any decision that this government takes, he has Mahatma Gandhi's talisman in front of him, that whether his decision is going to help, is going to positively impact the man at the bottom of the pyramid, the last man standing. And unless a decision helps the poor of India, helps the deprived sections of society, helps those who need a better future for their children, Prime Minister Modi is not going to take any decision which will hurt the interests of the common man. And I think in that, all of us can take pride, in that all of us can rest assured that India's interests are safe in Prime Minister Modi's hands. Our own business interests, our own long-term future, and the future of our children is safe in Prime Minister Modi's hand. Once again, congratulations to all the award winners, and my best wishes to all of you for the upcoming festivities on Christmas, New Year, and all the joy that we have experienced during Diwali and will continue to enjoy. Let's just look forward to better and brighter days ahead of us. Let's all work collectively for a better future for our country. Thank you.